Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start out by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and notice a great millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect men pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Yakanan from the DC Church, and the topic I wanted to touch on today in this video is having to do with this article, by the by CNN Business, and it's something that I've been looking into for a while. Is having to do with inflation, right? Because that's really the big topic, in America in the financial sector. Is about them talking about key inflation levels and inflation coming in within this year and the years to come. I just wanted to speak on this article right here, which says key inflation measure climbs up to highest level since 1992. And that just goes to show you the times that we're in right now. And eventually this is going to lead into hyperinflation. And when that hyperinflation comes and the economic collapse happens, we already know what's coming afterwards. The downfall of America. So these are the things that we have to look. These are the things that we're hoping for and looking forward to. Where a loaf of bread becomes $10, and a gallon of milk becomes 20. This is what we're looking for. They're right now they're having they're having a chip shortage. For the computers, they're having a chicken shortage. For the food, so they have a shortage of everything. For the technology and the the technology and the food. They're having shortages on everything. They're having liquor shortages. Right now you have shortages of all goods. Because we're still feeling the after effects of what happened in 2020. That being the C-19. And right now, the economy is feeling the after effects, and with that comes inflation. And it's just going to take one more catalyst to make it hyperinflation, to where things are going to cost an absurd amount of money. And I just wanted to read a few things out of this article. Now I want to start right here. It says prices for American consumers and producers have been rising for months on the back of the great reopening. These prices for a lot of these things have been rising over the months. Like I'm saying, there's shortages in a lot of things. Right now, you even have the price of lumber. Building materials going up. Building materials are going up. So even the cost even the cost of shelter is going up. Right now, people are paying over the asking price for new homes, and used homes. People are paying 15, 20, 40K over the asking price for a lot of these houses. The housing market is going crazy right now because a lot of people, because there's a shortage in people selling, and the people that are selling, the prices are going over what the seller is asking for. And it's saying consumers and producers have been rising for months on the back of the great reopening. Supply chain issues and material shortages. Economists are beginning to worry that if inflation rises too fast, people will curtail their spending, which would be bad news for recovery. So as prices go up, that will curb people to spend less. That, like, when prices go up to an absurd amount, people start to ration. They start to think with their they start to think with their they actually start to think before they spend. I don't care who you are. When something costs over, when something costs over 10, 15 to 20% more than what you previously used to pay for it, at some point you're gonna be like, man, is this shit even worth it like that? I can use this money to do X, Y, and Z, So that's gonna quench the economy what's it called, the economic recovery that the that the federal government is planning on happening, you know. And it says for now consumers are still doing all right. Yeah, for now. It says for now. But wait until one of these catalysts, happens, and inflation happens too far, too fast. It says for now the consumers are all right, but wait until the prices get to a point to where people start questioning what they spend. Then it's going to be bad, right? It says the University of Michigan's consumer sentiment index strengthened in June, although not as much as initially thought. They thought that the spending was going to be stronger, but it wasn't. But notably, all of the improved sentiment this month came from households making more than 100,000 a year. You know, all the improved sentiments came from people that were already making a lot of money. But what about those lower income houses that can't afford to spend like that? Then what? It says continued to pay close attention to three critical factors: inflation, unemployment, and interest rates. Interest rates are going up. From last year, 2020. You have unemployment still at an all-time high because people don't want to go back to work after they've been given free money from the government, and free assistance from the government for more than a year, and even a lot of these utility companies like water, electric, and gas, they can't cut off service right now. They're still in that time and season where they have the COVID-19 relief bills, to where a lot of these utility companies, they can't cut off the light, they can't cut off the gas, they can't cut off the electricity, all the necessities. And what's it called? I believe until like July or sometime this year, the landlords couldn't evict their tenants. So there was literally no, for a lot of Americans, there was literally no motivation to get another job. And what's it called? And a lot of these people got paid more off of unemployment than they did at their regular jobs. So that was even more an incentive not to work. So unemployment is going to stay at an all-time high because of that, And it says, I'm going to get to, more things. More things out of this article. I'm gonna read the last bit of this. It says, those are the prices for things that we look to stop going up and ultimately going down, Powell told the select subcommittee of the coronavirus crisis on Tuesday. But Powell also admitted that these effects on prices have been larger than expected. And it's going to be more. Then it's going to be way more larger than he expected, because hyperinflation is right around the corner. And with that, I want to start getting scriptures that have to do with things concerning this. Now this is I'm gonna get let's start off by getting Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. It says, this is Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. It says, ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe, ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into bags with holes. thus saith the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. And this is what's happening right now, and this is what's going to happen to a much higher degree when hyperinflation hits America. It says ye have sown much, but bring in little. And that's comparative to what happens. What's it called? During hyperinflation, because even though that they're trying to raise the minimum wage to $15, $18 to living wage or whatever, that's not to say that the prices of goods are not going to go up because of that. You can't just start paying people the same people that you used to pay $7.25 to do a job. You pay that same person $15 an hour to do literally the same job, and maybe even less, due to less consumer spending, and expect for the prices of consumer goods not to go up at a crazy rate. So even though that you technically are making a little bit more, it says you have so much. You brought in so much, way more than you were before. These jobs are going to start paying more. But you're going to bring in little because the prices of goods are going to go up to meet that. And it's even going to exceed to the ratio that you had before. You're probably able to bring a little bit more off of that $7.25 than you definitely are going to be at that $15 an hour, due to inflation. It says you have so much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into bags, earn it to put it into bags with holes. And that's what's going to be likened into what inflation is, to putting your wages into bags with holes. Now I'm gonna grab another scripture. This is James chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, go now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a wickedness against you. And ye shall eat your flesh as it were fire, and ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. And this is talking about the riches, that America has. It says your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. It says your gold and silver is cankered. The American dollar, the U.S. dollar, and all the riches that come along with that are cankered. They're dross. They have no value. And a lot of people are going to see, and a lot of people are going to notice that very, very, very soon, that the American dollar, and everything that comes with it, all the riches that they have in this society, they're cankered. They're rusted. They have no inherent value. We live off of a fiat money system, a money system that's not backed by anything, other than people's belief in it. Now I'm gonna call it again. This is James chapter 5 verse 1. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for the miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted. These riches are corrupted, and they hold a false balance, and your garments moth-eaten. Your gold is cankered, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust shall be a witness against you, and ye shall eat your flesh as it were fire. And ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth, and they cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord Sabaoth. Now I'm gonna call another scripture. This is Daniel chapter 2. And I'm going to grab, this is Daniel chapter 2 and verse 41. And it says, whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes part of potter's clay and part of iron. The kingdom, actually, I'm going to start at 40. It says, and the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron. For as much as iron breaketh into pieces and subdueth all things, and as the iron that breaketh all these, it shall break in pieces and bruise. And that's likened unto this kingdom that we're in right now, into the American kingdom. It's the strongest iron, and that's representative of the military might and the sword that Esau is the sword that Esau has been able to develop in this country. It's the strongest iron. They have the strongest military. They have the strongest technology. And that was where the blessing was, is the sword. And this is that fourth kingdom, Babylon the Great. It says the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh into pieces and subdueth all things. They won every world war. And as iron that breaketh all these, it shall break in pieces and bruise. That iron is getting broken as well, And it says, and whereas thou sawest the feet and the toes were part of potter's clay, and that's part of clay, and that part of the potter's clay, that mixed clay, that miry clay, is that depth that this system is holding. The large depth that is over this country's head. Those $22 trillion in debt. It says, whereas thou sawest the feet part of potter's clay and part iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there should be in it the strength of iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. And as the toes of the feet were part iron and part clay, so is the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And that part, this country is partly strong and partly broken. That's the perfect way to describe it, because it's strong due to that military might, but partly broken due to the depth and the depth and the and the division and the philosophies and culture that this country indulges in. That's what makes it partly broken. And when one crack gets into that iron, the whole thing is gonna break. I'm going to grab a couple more scriptures. This is 1 Timothy, verse 6 and 17. Charge them that are rich in this world, that they be not high-minded, nor trust in uncertain riches, but be in the living God, but in the living power, who give us richly all things to enjoy. It says not to trust in uncertain riches, and anything that you get in this kingdom is uncertain riches. This place is gonna collapse economically before it does physically, and that's something that all brothers should be paying attention to, is the economic status of this country, because before this country breaks physically, and gets destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, it has to get destroyed economically. The belief in it, has to go away. And the American dream always had to do with financial freedom. Once that's out of the picture, everything else is just gonna fall in place. That's all I got to say on that. Now. Hey, and with that, I want to say, call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, double honors to apostles and elders, great millstone, and peace and citations to the elect men pushing out this word of truth and sincerity. Until next time, I want to say Shalom.